So I spent 100 days in Cobblemon. So, of course, I need to spend 100 days in Pixelmon, the OG Pokemon mod for Minecraft. I played this mod quite a bit once I started messing with mods, and this mod is currently in 1.16.5 and has a crazy amount of Pokemon. Actually, over 900 to be exact. That's not counting all the different textures that the mod makers made. So I have some collecting to do, and I have a few goals as well. These goals are to catch as many Pokemon as possible, defeat a gym, catch a legendary, catch a shiny, make some awesome builds, and build an excellent team. Yeah, I know, that's a lot of goals, but you know, at least it'll keep me busy for a while. Unlike Cobblemon, I somewhat know what I'm doing here, so you know, I might as well just jump into this crap. It's time to choose my starter. There are tons of options ranging from Generation 1 all the way to Generation 9, but I decided to go with the classic, or well, classic to me, Tepig. It was my starter back in Pokemon Black, so you know, it's gonna be my starter now. And in this Pixelmon mod, it ends up spawning the player in a village, and you know, I had to take advantage of that, so I stole tons of their goods and even sold some of their stuff back to them for money. Most of the goods I kept were Pokeballs because those are useful. Even though I don't plan on catching Pokemon anytime soon, I still am so happy that I got those. I also did take advantage of the healer in the village to level up my Tepig a little bit before I left. Then after the few levels were gained, I ventured to find my epic base spot. My epic base spot is located in a meadow near a village. Similarly to my Cobblemon 100 days video, I went for, you know, a somewhat unique design. Well, at least unique to me. It actually will look like a pair of shorts, like the clothing. It looks kind of weird, but it's fine. There's still plenty of room for me. So I ended up chopping up some wood because I needed the wood, and I mined for some cobblestone that I needed for the base, and I just did a tiny bit of excavating in the process. With my remaining spare time, I ventured to massacre and raid another village. Unfortunately, I can't capture villagers, that well anyway, in Pixelmon, but you know, I will find a way. They will be in my basement one way or another, but I did get a lot more balls. I straight up took the villagers' balls, which, you know, of course will allow me to catch more Pokemon in the future. Naturally, I finished raiding the village, and you know, I was doing it peacefully with no idea about what bad things were going to happen to me soon. It's probably because I made that bad joke about like hoarding the villagers in my basement, but whatever. I came up with a plan for an item that, you know, I'll need in the future if I want to progress more. So I went out exploring and found tons of Poke Loot. I even found a lucky egg that, you know, gets me more XP in battles. Throughout the time, I found a desert temple. I didn't blow it up. I am smarter than that. Well, actually, I'm somewhat smarter than that, but I still didn't blow it up. Anyway, the bad thing that happened to me in these few days was that I missed out on a damn shiny. It was a gloriously beautiful shiny Magikarp, and I was so freaking sad. I didn't have a single ball on me. Well, actually, I guess I had one, but it didn't work. This was so disappointing because I love Gyarados, so go ahead, call me dumb. I'll allow it. That Magikarp was disappointing, but what made up for it was the fact that my plan worked. I found the item that I very much needed, the legendary EXP All. This will allow each one of my Pokemon to get experience each time a Pokemon is defeated, so this means I need to get a team together. This next part was hard because I wanted a damn Magikarp, and I was stupid and missed a beautiful shiny Magikarp, but I caught one anyway. Then I caught a Turtwig, a Beldum, and a Yamper. With this team, I'm hoping there's enough coverage to win some good battles. I want to clarify that I am not a pro at Pokemon either, so yeah. Anyway, the last change to my team was that Tepig finally evolved into Pignite, so all I need is one last Pokemon to join my team. But to finish off my team, I caught a Jangmo-o. I heard it isn't the best Pokemon, but I like it, so I don't care what people say. With my fully fledged team, I went mining. It was time to get some resources to improve my living situation. Basically, I needed iron, cause, you know, I'm poor and stuff. Oh, and the game is called Minecraft, so, you know, kinda have to mine. It's a little bit mandatory. Afterwards, I worked on a bit of my base, nothing too important, but I did go and destroy some homes and stole some terracotta from the houses for a little bit of a project that will be worked on later. I really hope the villagers don't get cold though. Actually, I don't give a crap. I finished destroying any villages I could find. You know, I straight up took advantage of these guys. Is it bad I don't feel guilty? Like, what if these people have like kids or, well, actually that makes me feel not guilty like at all. Kids can be annoying. Anyway, I went mining for a little bit longer just because I needed a bit more iron for my project. The project was botany pots. There's a little side mod that is compatible with the Pixelmon mod, so I got it, and now I have apricorn seeds and EV berries growing in the botany pots. And now that those botany pots are working in the background, I decided to farm up some ender pearls for both going to the end and to get a warp stone, which will allow me to go to any waystone I would like. And, you know, in that process, I just evolved my turtwig into a grotto, so that's pretty neat. Do you know what else is neat? Taking forever to mine a damn block. That's sarcasm if you didn't know. So I got myself some obsidian, mainly so that I can head into the nether. When I arrive at this unforgivable hellscape, I went to a few different places to set up a few waystones for later. With that task being accomplished, I ventured into the overworld to find a village with a gym. Yeah, I am far from being able to take it on, but in the house next to the village, I found a pair of leafstone boots. The reason this is so good is that it gives me a 50% more movement speed buff, which enabled me to explore more and find an area with an enchantment table, which would have saved some time earlier. You know, who cares about wasted time anyway? I am just gonna work on a bit on my base, essentially making a second floor for storage and stuff, but that isn't the only thing I did for my base. I also made a nice path to my nether portal, to my newly good looking Pokestop thingy, and to my enchantment area. So with that, I needed some more light around my base, which made me venture back into the nether for a bit of glowstone, which, you know, I later put onto my path. But what is the Pixelmon world without me evolving some Pokemon? So on my team, I managed to evolve my Magikarp into a Gyarados, Beldum into a Metang, and finally my good boy Yamper into a Boltund. Evolving Pokemon isn't the priority at the time, catching Pokemon is, so that's what I started doing. However, I didn't know where to start. So I looked and I decided to go after the hardest set of Pokemon to catch, starters. I caught a Bulbasaur when I didn't even decide to go after, which was nice. Then I died. To add some salt to the wound, something horrible happened. Another shiny evaded my grasp once again. It was a shiny Zubat flying high up in the sky out of reach. Yeah, it was really painful. Yeah, but to make up for those two flops, I did catch a Charmander, a Popplio, and a Rowlet, and I am slowly but surely filling my Pokedex, especially when I evolved my Pignite into its final evolution, Emboar. With my awesome Emboar, I have decided to venture to the end. I don't know how the Emboar helps exactly, but it'll probably just, I don't know, jump into the void and die. Actually, I'll probably end up doing that knowing my luck. Funny enough though, I did die twice. It was only to the Ender Dragon, but you know, I did eventually kill the Ender Dragon, so that's all that matters. But with that, I ventured to find myself some good gear and items through end cities. Honestly, the biomes you will go doesn't really help with the finding of cities. It's kind of annoying, but I did find one and honestly didn't get much. So I grabbed my wings to dip out of the stupid city. I have no plans after looting the city, I'm gonna be honest. I just considered I'd find another one, but you know, I was too lazy for now. So I obviously went back to the overworld to explore and run around. I did evolve my grotto into Torterra though, because I was viciously slaughtering tons of Pokemon. It was actually kinda unfair for those Pokemon. Some of them I even like skinned alive for their string leather. Damn, that's like really violent. What's wrong with me? After arriving home, it was a good time to go on a catching spree of starters. So I found myself a Chikorita, a Cyndaquil, a Fennekin, and a Piplup. I was trying to find a Squirtle, but honestly that never really happened. However, I am glad with the ones that I caught because there are a ton of starters, so I'm just happy to knock off a few on my list. Unlike the last time though, I did not miss out on a shiny, or die. Well, I guess part of me did die when it took forever to find a starter. So I guess I am dead inside now, or I've just been dead inside for my whole life. I don't know. Now I have a plan. I want to catch Pokemon easier than I do now because my Pokemon are getting higher leveled, so I need something easy. And usually I would like the Pokemon Cobalion to get a False Swipe and Thunder Wave on it, but that simply isn't possible right now. So the next best option is a Scyther. While searching for my Scissory Boy, I found a Score Bunny and a Totodile, so all the searching I did was really worth it. And afterwards, I did find a Scyther, so I brought it to a mover learner and got me False Swipe. I'm sorry, Gyarados, but Scyther is now part of the team. So I had another plan that honestly wasn't going to work because I was in the wrong biome. The wrong biome was the Stone Forest. I set up a small little base because I thought I'd be there for a while. Yeah, I was horribly wrong. That was all during the day. Also, at night, I ended up catching a Squirtle, and I did search for a swamp and got myself some good loot. And the swamp is for another starter, just so you're aware. And these days weren't a total waste, I guess. I'm just gonna blame everything on the wiki though, because I got the wrong info. Or am I just dumb? Probably that, I don't know. Since I was in the wrong biome, I ventured to the right one. It was the Rainforest Hills. Now, I was searching for something that honestly never showed up. But when nighttime came, a good old legendary wanted to show up. It was a Spectrier, the good old Generation 8 DLC Pokemon. You know, I tried so hard to catch it, but truly, my Pokemon caught its hands. Or hooves. Yeah, I did. In the extra time though, I caught a Litten and a Trico, so at least I made some progress towards the Pokedex, even though I missed a legendary, and I wish I would have caught it. I was now tired of the rainforest scenery, so I ventured off to find some berries I need for another one of my famous plans. During the time, I caught a Sobble, so that's at least some nice progress, I guess. But while I was also venturing, I found something cool. I found a Christmas biome. I looted some of the big boy trees and got some rare candies and even some Santa balls. Balls of Santa? Christmas balls. They're Pokeballs, okay? Basically just Pokeballs, both cool design. After all that ball fondling, I found the berries I needed for, my awesome plan. Why did I say that? With the berries I planted in the botany pots, I was now able to redeem myself. I missed 2 shinies already, so now I must catch a shiny or 2. Well, that's the plan anyway. With lure casings I got from my Pokestop, I was able to make some shiny lures, which increased the shiny spawn rate by 1.73 times, or percentage, whatever you want to call it. I was really banking on a shiny, but nope, I didn't get to like redeem a single one, and I am mad. I am so furious. But like seriously, the game had to tease me earlier on, and now when I'm actually ready to catch a shiny, the game tells me to screw the F off. Thank you, game. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I decided to take a little break to build just a few houses to spruce up my area and make it look a little better. They were made out of acacia wood, and they weren't professionally made, of course. They were made by me, so don't expect beautiful work. In the meantime though, while I built these little crap huts, I defeated my first legendary boss of the video and got diddly squat. Yeah, once again, the game is screwing me over and saying to F off again. Actually, wait, no, I take that back. Pixelmon, you're an awesome mod, you're great, you're amazing. Thank you for the shiny Wooloo that I just caught alongside the stupid little shiny Minoon too. With the 2 shinies, I figured my luck ran dry. Or, you know, so I thought. I caught a Froakie because I decided to hunt for some starters. However, something else spawned. It was a legendary. I saw the message pop up in chat and I was so excited. I was ready to get a damn legendary. But it's a damn Keldeo. Yeah, I don't like Keldeo. I would have rather a different legendary, but I guess who am I to judge? So after taking forever to catch this piece of crap, I can finally say I caught a legendary. Do I regret it? Maybe. Do I want to use it? Not really. Am I gonna eventually use it? Maybe. I don't know. To add to all the luck I have had, I'm gonna talk about how much progress I made in these days. So first, I got myself some wood. Obviously, I plan on making some more houses, and I just started off by making a spruce house, and it was like, you know, slightly bigger than both the acacia houses. Then later on, I made a somewhat similar house made out of dark oak wood. All while building and gathering the wood, I got my Metang to evolve into a Metagross, and my Hakamo'o to evolve into a Komo'o. So with my main team all fully evolved, I can start evolving other Pokemon. Speaking of which, my Squirtle evolved into a Wartortle, my Bulbasaur evolved into a Ivysaur, my Charmander into a Charmeleon, and my Shiny Wooloo into a Dubwool. But wait, there's more. I took all of my XP and rare candies and I forced them down the throat of my Emboar to make him stronger. Yeah, I think these candies are like some form of crack or maybe even steroids, but you know, I don't care. I'm sure it's fine. Welp, back to catching me some starters. I caught a Torchic, and I found and caught a random Quaxly. By the way, I absolutely hate Quaxly. I just thought you should know that because I want to strangle it to death. Speaking of strangle, I did also die. But then my Cyndaquil evolved into a Quilava, so many starter things I know, but to end it off, I did catch a Chimchar. At this point, I have about 6 starters to collect, so that's my new goal for this video, and that's to get all the starters, because, you know, I caught a legendary and 2 shinies, so now I need a new goal pretty much. Before I worked on that new goal, I made it an arena. As you may be able to tell, I have tons of people on this world, so I definitely need something like this. All of my 0 friends are here and ready to battle. In all seriousness, it looks probably better than most of the things I've built on this world, so after it was nicely constructed, I evolved my Ivysaur into a Venusaur, which opened up a slot for someone to get leveled up, and that slot was happily taken by the new shiny Rookidee that, you know, I just caught. Look at him, he's pretty cool. With 3 shinies captured, I of course need to return to the goal of catching all the starters. Yeah, I miserably failed. I did some thinking and planned through these few days, which I will work on in the next set of days. One good thing though, I defeated a legendary raid. It was a Thundurus. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. However, I did get an orb, which will allow me to get one of the 3 legendary birds. This was a big pickup. It genuinely surprised me that I got it, and it's going to help me progress quite a bit in the future. Now I need to execute some of the things I was planning in the last few days, but first I evolved my Rookidee into a Corvisquire. This happened when I was searching for an Ice Stone pieces, and this will allow me to make the orb a frozen orb so that I can get Articuno. It's probably the easiest one to get. After that little adventure though, I did go and level up my Emboar a bit more and started working on my second plan. I wanted more lures, but I needed more space, so I made more botany pots and started hunting for the last berries I need. In that process, I simply evolved my Wartortle into a Blastoise, and now all I need is 2 damn berries, but they are elusive as hell. What started off as an innocent berry hunt turned into an eventful set of days. I got a few evolutions from murdering tons of Pokemon. My beautiful Charmeleon evolved into a Charizard, my Totodile into a Croconaw, my Chikorita into a Bayleaf, and my Quilava into a Typhlosion. But here's where it gets kinda crazy. I encountered an Eternatus, which, you know, I accidentally killed. Yeah, you can just forget about that, please and thank you. However, I did make up for this mistake by spotting a beautiful shiny Teddiursa. I love bears, so this Pokemon as a shiny just made me happy. However, I also love dogs, and I got myself a big boy puppers. I got a Zamazenta, and I'm just surprised I caught it. Like, now I have a good boy doggo, and I'm just happy about it. Well, I guess it's time to get me some more starters. I really thought it wouldn't take me this long to get them all, but you know, guess I'm wrong. So naturally, I went to look for some. Well, actually, I did end up taking a break from focusing on Mudkip, though I did catch myself a Snivy, a Fuecoco, a Chespin, and Sprigatito. Now, I will admit, I know nothing about the Gen 9 starters, except when Sprigatito was first revealed, I thought it was a dog. But then again, I'm like kinda dumb, so yeah. As for evolutions, I did get some of those as well. Mainly my Teddiursa evolved into a Ursaring and my Torchic evolved into a Kabuskin, but at this point I'm not focusing on evolutions, I'm mainly focusing on the catching part. However, I didn't focus on catching Pokemon these next few days. I actually made a little Poke Center. It doesn't look amazing, but I still think it looks nice. I did what I needed to so like it would be functional. I also fought a boss, and it gave me a Phytinium Z crystal. Yeah, I can't use Z moves yet, so it's kind of pointless, but it's cool. Anyway, I also found a mending book, which after 75 days finally allowed me to make my god pickaxe. Well, minus the netherite part. I still need to get that. But what is a few days in Pixelmon if I, of course didn't evolve Pokemon or catch a Pokemon as well. So I only caught a Grookey, and then later on I did evolve my Crocodile into a Feraligatr and my Trico into a Grovyle. And trust me, there's an absolute metric butt ton of evolutions and stuff to come. Like I said, more evolutions and stuff. I was just gonna jump right into it. I caught an Oshawott and surprisingly a shiny Murkrow. I didn't even have a shiny charm on, so that was a Murkrow at 1 in 4,096 chance. It's kind of crazy, but I'm sure it'll happen again. Now for the evolutions. I evolved Bayleaf into Meganium, Chimchar into Monferno, Corvisquire into Corviknight, and Piplup into Prinplup. I haven't looked at my Pokedex yet, but I could only imagine how many Pokemon I have registered. I think it's kind of crazy. Okay, so I looked at my Pokedex, and I didn't look at my Pokedex, okay? I'll admit it, I lied. I lie. Everyone lies. And I'm pretty sure I'm just rambling on right now and it doesn't really matter. But you know what does matter? The countless Pokebodies I have killed. I worked on filling my orb for a future legendary. I even got a Poisonium Z from a boss. In the meantime, Combuskin evolved into Blaziken, Snivy into Servine, Grovyle into Sceptile, Oshawott into Dewott, and Monferno into Infernape. And finally, one of my favorite Generation Box legendaries, Reshiram appeared. I was hoping for Zekrom, but I'll take a Reshiram. I even caught it with a Quick Ball, which means it was meant to be, and I'm happy about it. Not much happened these next few days. I kind of just, searched for Mudkip, which is the only starter I need. I did spot another shiny Rookidee, so, I had to do something extremely obvious for it. I murdered it. I figured I already had one, so, why not just kill it? Please don't be mad at me, because thinking about it, I could have gotten better IVs or better stats or whatever with it, but you know what? I don't care. Anyway, I did some building stuff for a project that I'm working on, and in the meantime, I did evolve my Fennekin into Braixen. These were some nice mellow days, but just wait for the upcoming days. I finally did it. I found a stupid freaking Mudkip. Actually, I'm sorry, Mudkip, you're not stupid. But I caught it, and now I can focus on other Pokemon. Thank God. Before I caught Mudkip though, I did some more building and I worked on filling the orb. Filling the orb basically allowed me to evolve my Prinplup into Empoleon and Froakie into Frogadier, but still, that ain't important because now I have a new goal. But I'm not gonna say it yet, cause I'm kinda lazy. Now that I have Mudkip, it is time to focus on the next objective, catch Articuno. But first, I have to find an ice shrine, which really was annoying. I found tons of Christmas trees though, so I got tons of rare candy and stuff. Other than that, I did get tons of evolutions. Servine evolved into Superior, Mudkip into Marshtop, Chespin into Quilladin, and weirdly enough, I got my Dewott to evolve into the Hisuian version of Samurott. I was really freaking surprised. I don't know the spawn conditions or the evolution conditions for the Hisuian form, but I'll take it because it's a free Hisuian form that I won't have to get later. Here's where it starts getting hella crazy. I found the shrine. I can finally summon the legendary Pokemon Articuno. Well, actually, I still have to fill the orb. Well, that's a shame. Still, I did a crap ton of stuff though. I caught a shiny full odds Electrike and a teeny tiny little Caterpie. Other than those two things, like always, I have evolutions. I'ma quickly speed through all of these because I have a ton of them. Braixen into Delphox, Litten into Torracat, Frogadier into Greninja, Electrike into Manectric, Popplio into Brionne, and finally Marshtop into Swampert. Now, I returned to that thing I was building because, all the rare candies I got in the last few days, I decided to give them to Emboar, which is now named Gravy. He's now level 100, and the thing I was building was a Hall of Fame. That's where I'm going to put all of my Pokemon that are level 100. After that, I finally went to capture Articuno. It was a legendary battle, since, it was a legendary Pokemon, after all, but I caught it though, to no surprise, and I am happy. Kind of. Articuno he's a mediocre Pokemon. I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, if I didn't catch it, I probably would have cried. Yeah, I am not ready for this set of days to talk about. I'm not ready. Well, anyway, I caught a lot of Pokemon, which means more talking for me, so that's great. The new goal is to start by catching all of the Generation 1 Pokemon. So I caught a Pidgey, a Weedle, a Rattata, a Geodude, a Machop, a Spearow, a shiny Zigzagoon, unfortunately not the Galarian version, a Pikachu, an Ekans, a Diglett, a Cubone, a Nidoran male and a Nidoran female, a Sandshrew, an Abra, and finally a Cleffa. Oh my god. The evolution to catching ratio wasn't even close. I only evolved my Quilladin to Chestnut, and my Scorbunny to Raboot, and my Torcat to Incineroar, and the Zigzagoon into Linoon. Honestly, I thought that was going to be a lot less when I was reading it. Yeah. There are like 900 some Pokemon in the game. What do you expect with me doing all this? So the last notable thing that happened was the legendary Raikou killed itself. Yeah, it just stung itself on a cactus. That poor little doggo. Yeah, I didn't make up for the loss of the little yellow puppers. Yeah, I only caught like a handful of Pokemon, including Paris, Vulpix, Bellsprout, and Ghastly. Yeah, however, I got a crap ton of evolutions though. It was mainly because I have a quest to defeat like tons of trainers, and I figured I might as well do it. So the evolutions I got were Sobble into Drizzile, Brionne into Primarina, Grookey into Thwackey, Dartrix into Decidueye, Raboot into Cinderace, Fuecoco into Crocalor, Sprigatito into Florigato, and finally Drizzile into Teleon. My god, I was so surprised that I did not mess up any of those. Now, you know, I am coming up on day 100, and I want that quest done because I'm pretty sure I know what I get after it's done. So I'm going to try my absolute hardest to get it done, and I am sure that there are a ton more evolutions to come. Oh boy, there's a lot more words for me to say. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's day 100. Yeah, this was a major letdown of a day, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do anything special or anything like that. I just wanted to complete the quest for the trainers, but it didn't go so well. I basically didn't find enough trainers, so it is big sad times. However, I still got tons of evolutions to sort of make up for the day. I got my Quaxly all the way to Quaquavel. I could go on for hours on how much hatred I have for this stupid starter. Looks ugly, dumb. I hate it so much. It's the worst starter by far. And I don't hate much of the starters, but this one I hate so much. But that's besides the point. I got my Paris into a Parasect, my Ghastly all the way to a Gengar. I had to use a trade simulator command thingy for that. My Sandshrew into a Sandslash, my Nidoran male into a Nidorino, my Crocalor into a Skeledirge, Diglett into Dugtrio, my Florigato into Meowscarda, Spearow into Fearow, and finally Ekans into Arbok. God, that was a lot. Anyway, it kind of sucks that I didn't finish the mission, but you know, I'm still happy to finish these 100 days off here because I think I made quite a bit of progress. So that is my very own 100 days in Pixelmon. I know for sure I will return to this because I had a lot of fun, and I only have 147 registered Pokemon in my Pokedex, and there are upwards of 900 in the mod, so I have like a long ways to go. Plus, I never got Dynamax and a Mega Ring, so yeah, and I only caught one of the 3 birds. I haven't even been to an actual wormhole dimension yet, so there is potential for a ton more to happen, but this is where the video ends, so I want to thank you for watching. Maybe like, maybe subscribe, and I don't really care. And yeah, if you have any ideas of what I should do in the future days of this mod, let me know, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave now.